How's it going, guys? My name is Phamily Shucks and welcome to another episode of Clash of Clans. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I farm and how I do it as quick as possible to get the most gold. Now, I've noticed many people on the Reddit forums of Clash of Clans and also Supercell Clash of Clans forums, a lot of people have been asking how to farm. Now, as a Town Hall 8, I'm pretty experienced in farming in my own opinion, and I think I do a pretty good job of explaining it. Now, I've seen on those forums many people give these huge paragraphs on how to farm, they give these pointers, but they don't actually show you how to do it. So I'm going to be showing how I farm as a Town Hall 8. Now, as a Town Hall 8, I found the best trophy range for gold especially and for elixir is around the 1200 range. Now, I went a little too low by going to 1222, and I'd suggest going a little higher to 1250 or to 1275, around that area. If you're looking for dark elixir, I recommend just going all the way up to the 1800s. There are going to be high level bases up there, as well as good amounts of dark elixir, especially in like the 1000 dark elixir range. So, going back, in my eyes, there are actually two parts of farming. There is, on one half is your part, and also on the other half, it depends on who you attack. Now, first off, on your part, you have to take 4 or 3 things key into mind. First off, you have to know your troop cost. So around my troop cost, it's fairly cheap. I use very cheap composition. It's only barbs, archers, goblins, and wall breakers. And even though these are all level 5, they still cost at least 50,000 elixir, which isn't that much compared to people who are farming with giants, dragons, and balloons and stuff like that. And also, another thing is troop time. How long does it take for your troops to train up before you can go into your next attack? Now, in total, when I have all my troops queued up, it takes at least, from start to finish, takes at least 10 to 15 minutes, which is the shortest amount of time compared to people who are also farming with giants. Giants, in my eyes, are not really necessary as a farmer, just because barbs do the exact same thing, and they also serve well at serving good damage to defense. So as I was saying, the next thing you have to keep in mind is troop efficiency. How well are you using your troops as you're attacking a base? Now, for me, as I go into my attack log, I don't really use a lot of troops. The only times I use all my troops is when they're high loot, of course, like these ones right here. But you'll also notice that I don't really use a lot. Like, look at this one. 10 barbs and 24 goblins, and I took 178,000, which is a lot. And mostly when I roll on the attack, I queue them up beforehand. That way, when I come back to my base, I have a good amount of troops already queued up, and I can just go on to my attack repeatedly. So, that is your part. And for the enemy's part, you have to take into consideration 4 things. You have to notice what league they're in. Preferably, I prefer to have them in the Silver League or have no league at all. No league at all shows that they are inactive. Inactivity is the key thing for farmers, just because you can pick off their gold mines and their elixir pumps for free and get the huge amounts of gold. Also, another thing is accessibility. Now, for access, you have to recognize their base and how it's laid out. You have to see whether their storages are more to the outside or more to the center. If their storages are more to the outside, it is obviously a good target because all the loot would be in there. And also for their mines, if they're all clumped up into one area, that is a good thing to look for. If they're all spread out around the base in compartments and stuff like that, it's really not worth it, just because if you slip up, you can lose out a good amount of gold. And also loot, as you notice, a lot of people cap out at 200,000 for each, especially at the Town Hall 8 range. As a Town Hall 8, people max out at 200,000. So if a base exceeds above 200,000 for each, you can obviously tell right off the bat that it is in their pumps or mines. Now, as I go back to here, you can see my recent attack, 225,000. Now, right off the bat, I already knew that this was in its mines, and as you can see, I'm scrolling down 100,000, 100,000. And these would be all in the mines. You can see right here, Alex Jung, I attacked him because of his elixir and because of his gold. And you can also tell right off the bat that his elixir is in the storages, so that would mean the same for his gold. And that just goes into mine for loot. And the last thing is the design. Now you have to look into their base and see how their base layout is. You have to see whether it's sectioned off a lot or if it's spaced out and doesn't have a lot of sections or junctions a lot. So what I mean is that you have to see if a base is really open like mine. So you can see like this, it's all open, not separated by anything. So this would be a good base for people to attack. But let's keep into mind that I have my very high upgraded splash damages. So that would keep people away from attacking my base. So instead of talking about this a lot, let's just jump right into a battle and I'll show you guys what I mean. Alrighty guys, I am back and here we are with my first attack. And now it took me a while just to find this, but I think this goes really well as an example to show what I was saying. Now you can see just me. He's not in a league, which is a key thing which I said before to getting high loot. And you can also see his loot capacity exceeds 200,000. Now what I forgot to also mention is look at his walls. If his walls are easy to break into with a single wall breaker, it is really useful just to go right for it. So right now I'm just going to start off, just break right into the mines since I know they're all going to be in there. Just going to break in this side. Now I'm going to use my barbs as a meat shield and then back them up with archers just like a regular giant archer combo. Just use some over here. Make sure you don't deploy all of your troops in one area just because you'll need them for the other side or forever or wherever your other troops or the other mines are. So just pour in a couple goblins and that should take out a good amount. And I can see right there his loot just went straight down to 130,000. Which is a lot since his previous was 220 something thousand. 100,000, excuse me. Now I'm going to do the same on this side. Just going to do some barbs, archers right here. I'm going to break into this side. I'm going to use some goblins just to take them out. I'm going to pour them right here, pour them right here. Now see how I'm not using all my troops? I'm not spamming all my troops because I'm using my troops efficiently. So that way I can attack in the next raid. Now look at that. All the way down to 2,000 gold is how I farm. Now you can see I don't really want, well I already have 50%, which is good because I need a rise in my trophy count. But you can see this is a clear good example of what I was talking about. If you see his league, he is not in a league, so that's good. His accessibility to his mines, they're all on the outside. They're all on the outside, making it easy for my wall breakers to break into and also for my infantry to get into just to steal all that gold. And then, as I said before, his loot was high. It was exceeding 200,000, especially for the gold. And also look at his design. Not very not very sectioned, easy to break into with my goblins, especially on this side, and then easy to take away all his loot. Especially his walls. His walls are easy to break into, especially with these wall breakers. So let's move on to my next attack, and I'll show you more. Alrighty guys, I am back after like 10 minutes of searching. Today must not be a good day for searching. But from my first raid, I showed you guys a little bit of what lazy farming is. I didn't really think of it as lazy farming, I just thought of it as a good way to farm and some techniques that exemplify what I was saying before. But here we have someone who has all his gold and elixir in the storages, which is something that some farmers might stay away from, but for me, I think I'm just going to go right for it. Just because I think I have the ability to get into this base really easily. So first off, I'm just going to get these troops, break it into. And as you can see, he has clan castle troops, so I'm going to take those out. I'm just going to lower the volume. Just going to get these guys out of the way, bring them out here. Now with this troop composition, you have a lot of flexibility on who you attack. You can attack bases like this, or you can attack bases like the previous fight beforehand. Now I'm just going to take out these giants. As I said before, giants are awful in the clan castle because they do nothing. And then next, I'm just going to put all my barbs in here as a meat shield. Follow up with all these guys. Go on with a wall breaker. Now for this I might have to use all my troops just because of how difficult this was from the other bases. I'm going to go in with a couple of these guys just to take them out. Now that the wizard tower is done, I think I'm going to go in full throttle just because they have no more splash and range. Now this is also another base of what I was saying about how their storages, how accessible their storages are. Now I can see all his storages are on one side, which is really good. That's because that way I don't have to worry about breaking into other sides, rather just break into one side and then steal all the gold. Now I broke into this side, which is good. I'm going to try go for this side just to get the rest of that loot. I think my archers will take it all, along with these barbs as a meat shield. And I can see I just got a really good haul. I think that was almost 180,000 for gold, and then somewhere close to 100 something for elixir, which I don't really need since I capped it out. I finished all my elixir upgrades except for the barracks. The barracks would actually be my last elixir upgrade, as well as my dark elixir barrack, which is actually finishing in a couple hours actually. So that is something to look forward to for tomorrow. So this was a good raid. You can also see his walls were very low, level 1 walls, and what are these, like level 5? I think they're level 5 walls. So this was a good base to raid. So let's head back. So yep, almost 300, I believe, 300k, 15 trophies, and a good amount of dark elixir too, which is good as a side note. Now, I forgot to mention you guys beforehand. The reason I'm making this upload is because I actually upgraded all these walls in one day. Now this is a total of 10 walls, which amounts to at least 5 million. So I rated 5 million gold per day, or yesterday, and that is a lot. And I thought I'd just share you guys a little bit of insight on my technique to farming. So that about sums it up. I'm actually going to scroll and show you guys a previous attack log. It doesn't have any audio, but it just comes to show my really good rating beforehand, before I made this video. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. See you guys tomorrow for a nice dark elixir troop battle. We might have those for some Valkyries or for some Hog Riders. So, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Okay guys, before I let you guys go, I just want to tell you guys what's going on the screen right now. This is my attack log from yesterday. I had a really good farming day yesterday. As I said before, I amounted in 5 million gold that day, which as a result upgraded for me 10 walls to level 8. Level 8? Yeah, those black skull walls. So I just wanted to show you guys that loot day, that really good loot day just inspired me to show you guys how I farm and just some pointers. So yeah, and also on another note, I just want to tell you guys that when I'm farming, I do not use spells. Like this rage spell right here and that lightning spell was from a leftover attack, a high troop attack that I made beforehand, and I didn't use any spells. So those were just left over, and I just thought I should just use them. So as a recap, I do not use spells while I'm farming. And I just like to thank you guys for watching and enjoy this beautiful picture I edited myself. So, and I have no editing skills whatsoever. So peace.